Sir, your credit card has been declined. Oh, no.
Sir, your loan application has been denied.
But, I don't understand.
Huh?
How did they get all of my info?
Greetings, you polite savages. You know, we gotta come to grips that this economy is gigajacked. And there's folks out there whose entire job is to sell, buy, and steal your information and trade it on the web like a busted bootleg stock market. It's a big game, it's a big club, and you ain't in it.
It's a big club, and you ain't in it.
And a few years ago, I was in the Philippines on a business trip. And on the last day, 2 hours before our closing dinner, I found out that my bank account was totally wiped out. I had to make emergency calls home, get Western Union wired to me so I can actually complete the transaction. And if it could happen to me, it could definitely happen to you. And that's why we partnered with Aura, the sponsor of this stream. You see, Aura searches the web for your information, actively scrubs it, sends you alerts when you've been exposed, and offers a host of different electronic devices to help you control your finances. Use the link pinned in the description for a 2-week trial. And that's long enough for you to try the service and find out exactly what they have to offer you. We don't endorse many products here at the THPP Network. We are selective indeed, but trust me, it's better to have this and stop these issues before it starts than to be stranded out there trying to figure it out in real time. Sometimes you just don't want to handle the tip, you dig?
Polite savages.
At this time, we ask that you turn off your portable electronic devices. You are now free to move. Flight crew, prepare for landing. Flight crew, prepare for landing. Flight crew, prepare for landing. At this time, we ask that you turn off your portable electronic devices. You are now free to move. Flight crew, prepare for landing.
Gorilla on the beat.
What's up with you, Mr. Craig? Hey, man, your high school sweetheart has a black front tooth. When you floss food out your teeth, you re-season it so you can re-swallow it later on. You gotta sit on somebody's shoulders to pick a pocket. You got on a baggy medium shirt. You look like the greatest hot dog eating champ of all time.
Say I'm a prostitute and this is what I charge to fuck off with me. That is more respectable than trying to sound respectable but being in denial about who you are. That's like being a firefighter. You got a hose in your hand, you know, you got the water going, and you saying, I'm a football player. Play football. No, you can fight fires, nigga. It just don't make no sense to me how people think they can create their own reality. I mean, you can create your own reality, but at least be man or woman enough to make a debatable claim that might be controversial, that people may disagree with or may agree with, and at least support it with some facts. I sell and then say, hey, because I can pay my bills, I can pay for wigs, and I can't take care of myself financially, so I need a man to do that.
You single?
Yes.
How much do a man gotta make to be with you?
At least $1,000.
A year?
No.
A month?
Every day.
$1,000 every day?
Yeah.
He gotta make $1,000 every day to be with you.
Yeah.
Why?
Because that's bare minimum to me. I need things done.
Money makes me your leader. Period, point blank. If I give you money in exchange for services, it don't have to be sex. It don't have to be sex. It could just be things I need to get done. That makes me your leader in a certain situation. So I think a lot of times people they don't like to be in a position where they feel like somebody is dominant over them because they have a misconception of what leadership is. It's like if you need somebody for anything, you know, that's just a human condition.
Wow. See, I have this gain turned up because I'm so scared last time that my absolute volume was horrible. So now I didn't overreact. But welcome to another Tip After Dark. And I just want to give a shout out to all the polite savages. Thank you for rocking with us tonight. You could have been anywhere, but you chose to be here. And I don't expect $1 or a dime. It's good if you want to do it, but I really appreciate your time. Anyhow, we have something very interesting tonight for you. And I want to tell you just like this. I want you to understand that every time that we do anything, there should be comedy, there should be entertainment, but there should be an underlying message. Last week, the underlying message on our last live was you were who you were when you got there. And this is what I mean by that. Give me a 1 in the chat if my sound is good. But you were who you were when you got there. You could change your circumstance and your situation, but if you don't change yourself, if you a lame with money, you just a lame with money. You just could be more lame. Whatever it is, under pressure, you become more of that. If you are aggressive under pressure, you will become more aggressive. If you are submissive under pressure, you will become more submissive. I'm talking about the ladies. Hey, for the fellas, if you a punk, then you're going to be a punk under pressure. And when I say punk, I don't mean you don't got to be out here being rough and tough. And, you know, we too old to play all that gangsta stuff. But what I'm talking about is that when push comes to shove, when it's time for you to say something, when it's time for you to put up or shut up, you will become that. We try to Trojan horse it. So I want to talk to you just a second about your time. Your time, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm going to keep this short. We're going to get into the content because I know everybody don't want to hear me talk. You want to see some bells. You want to see some whistles. You want to see this stuff. But I just want you to understand one thing. The biggest lie anybody told you is that they're not making any more land on this earth. Man, in the Bay Area, there's a city called Foster City. It's called Foster City because it's built on a landfill. They going to do something to put some. Oh, and by the way, it's one of the most expensive places in California to live. These fools spending $1.2, $1.5 million for 1,500 square foot houses on a damn landfill that sinks, floods, smells bad. But hey, it looked good. They made it look real pretty. Because sometimes looks is all you need, right? So they're going to make some more land, but they never making more time. Your time is the most important thing you have. Your time allows you to make money. Your time allows you to do the things you want to do with your people. Your time allows you to sit back and relax when you have enough of it. And it allows you to be super stressed when you don't have enough. And one thing I'm going to tell you is do not let none of these dusty heifers or these dusty dudes waste your time. We're going to give you a lot of examples tonight of people wasting time. And the ultimate, and the last clip is the ultimate effect of wasting your time. So I respect all of you. I thank you for joining us at Night at the Tip. And I want to just give a shout out to some of the people in the chat. I see at Divine Photos telling me it sounds good. Ryan James Lingo, thank you. Trent Wilson, OG, she's been here from the beginning. Billy Emma effing Brown, man, and you almost got me swearing. I cannot swear this early. They will demonetize us, and they treat this channel very roughly. Trust me. You know, we don't get pushed or nothing. Caveman79, what's up? Parlay God Shantae, me 2268, perfect voice. I appreciate it. 26 Social Butterfly, man, all of y'all, Ryan James, Caveman 79. I appreciate all of you. And I got a little something extra special for you. I hope that this comes through. I hope you appreciate it. So let me see what I got for you. Hilariously enough, I did not load it up correctly. So that's what I have for you. But I do have something. First of all, I just want you to trust me because I got the vision.
I respect your ambition, Willie, but you got to have vision.
So we got a little vision for you. And let's start it off with some dancing girls. Yes, that is for all of my folks out there. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I hope you appreciate the content. We put a lot of work into it. For those who don't know, TIP Network is two folks, myself and Scotty. We have a couple of editors that work externally, but we do the majority of the editing. All of the music, except for very few exceptions, is actually programmed, made, and produced by myself. We do 95% of our own editing. We do have some external editors. When we ramped up the production from 20 videos a month to 30 plus, we have some external editors, and we have alternative channels for you. We got a merch store that all the merchandise is designed myself. If I don't do this, everybody's like, why don't you ever tell us? But we got the Polite Savage merch shop. I would be wearing a shirt tonight, but it's cold in the Bay. Get the merchandise if you want to. We got a lot of things going on, and some things I'll tell you about later on tonight. But I want to get into the content. And this is something that I came across. This lady is actually in court, but I just want to talk to you about time and vanity.
Welcome back. Now for what's tipping the scales, an unimaginable case, a beautiful one-year-old baby dying in a hot car. But this isn't the case of a forgetful parent. No, this mother intentionally left her 1- and 3-year-old boys strapped in their car seats while she went into the doctor's office to get a lip filler injection treatment. Defendant Maya Hernandez says that she left the air conditioning on in the car, but it shut off in her car after about an hour on its own. The 1-year-old baby died. Now she's charged with murder. Her defense attorney says it's negligence at the most and that Ms. Hernandez made a, quote, difficult parenting choice. As Maya Hernandez's defense attorney continues fighting for her both inside and outside of the courtroom, as you saw, a new shocking revelation could tip the scales of justice in the young mother's case. So let's talk about this. Court's going to start up later today, but we learned something new when court was last in session from a spa employee who testified that the defendant was not getting lip filler on the day in question, the day that her 1-year-old son died in her hot car. No, that witness from the spa told the jury that she was undergoing a liquid Brazilian butt lift.
Hold on a second. First of all, I did not know that there was liquid Brazilian butt lifts. But let's, and this is what I mean about time. You see, this lady, his entire life has changed because she chose to spend her time, her energy, and her effort into something that was not going to serve her. She went to get a BBL and left her kids in the car. Now, I don't care what anybody says, and I don't want to, if you can make an excuse for that lady, exit the chat now. We don't need you here. Sometimes you got to kick people off the island. Sometimes you got to get rid of fools. You cannot make an excuse for that. What is the number one job of a parent? It is to protect your child. The number one job of a parent is to protect your child. And this lady did not do that. And to find out she did it for just a vanity surgery, that 90% of them, I lied, 60% of them, got it written down here, it ends in infection. It's the most dangerous surgery that you can have. People die from it all the time. And so what I'm saying is that you risk your life and you sacrifice your child for something that's surface deep.
We got some scriptures coming.
The brothers say God made man in his image, because when he tried to make the women, they were supposed to be our helper, but they start believing in themselves and getting BBLs.
Right. Yeah.
Oh my God. Every woman with a BBL is an abomination to his name. You are putting yourself before your family if you got a BBL.
God!
You had your whole ass cracked open out of vanity. Ain't no telling what they put in there. Ooh. They put meat from food for less in your ass. That's why your shit stank ever since your BBL.
She knew. And when I first seen this clip and somebody said you're putting, yourself in front of God and family, I was like, come on now. It's just a surgery, right? But then you see situations like this. Oh, I got some questions in the chat. Let me answer this question. Somebody asking where Scotty is. I guess you don't know. Scotty is now a father. And congratulations to Scott. His family is doing well. But Scott has a newborn. And so I'm holding it down. We had already planned on doing these type of live streams. We have a studio we can live stream out of, which we will do a studio live stream again. But we also can live stream remotely. And so we will be doing joint live streams. He'll be at his place. I'll be at my place. We're using a program where we can do joint live streams. He'll be streaming to Polite Savage Reactions. I'll be streaming here. So there's a lot going on in THPP Network. But Scott needs time. He is a new father. And, it's wonderful because he's at that age. He's achieved some things in life, and he's super happy. Every time you talk to him, he got his kids in his arms, and that's a special thing, right? So Scotty will be back. He actually dropped a couple of videos on the channel. We split up the workload where if I'm talking about things that are definitely cultural, I deal with it. If he talks about things to the wider culture, then we both or he deals with it. So we break it up like that. And we've always done that, by the way. You've always heard my voice and his voice, or my voice on one, his voice separately. But Scott will be back. Scott will be back.
knew that if she didn't leave that AC on, those kids were gonna die. Second-degree murder, slam dunk right there. But more importantly, Julie, the clinic is responsible because the clinic should have required her to have a designated driver to drive her home. She was going under a surgical procedure. She was gonna be medicated. This tells me the clinic she was at, Julie, was some kind of sham place. And I've seen cases like this, like in New York and Goals, that have had numerous women die because of the procedures done there.
And so, you know, this story was actually, shout out to AV to 7th Power. She's a law tuber, and she was thinking about covering this case, and we discuss content sometimes and things like that. We've known each other since the lead attorney's mastermind. And she really brought this to my attention, said, are you following this? And I remember I heard about it, and I thought to myself, we really have to put ourselves in a position of understanding that these materialistic things, listen, let me talk to you for a second. There are things that you have to have money. You have to have things for money. And I never begrudge a lady for wanting somebody with their stuff together, because listen, if I want you to multiply and divide, you should have babies with somebody who could take care of your children. I mean, that's your job. But what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to sit here and ever justify some crap like this, because the problem is too many people want luxury in this world instead of provision. See, having that BBL or any cosmetic surgery that's unnecessary, that's a luxury. You didn't need it. And because you didn't need it, you put yourself in a position that your children actually suffered for it. She had 2 kids, left them in a hot car for 2 hours, turned the air conditioning on. So she knew. By the way, it was over 100 degrees that day. She didn't bring her kids inside and have them sit down because she didn't want to be bothered. Her kids were not important. What was important to this harlot, to this person, to this whatever she is, was that she could look a certain way. And I don't care about all these excuses. You know what? You always want to make excuses, especially for women. I'm sorry to say it like this. If a woman is 20 years old and she's dating a 30-year-old man, that dude is taking advantage of her. If a woman is does a crime and she's young, oh, she was young, she's gonna know better. But let's really break down facts. She's 20 years old. She was old enough to have 2 children. Oh, babies having babies. Well, you know what? There's a whole bunch of stuff in this world that babies don't have to have babies. Lord knows we talk about it all the time. It was her responsibility in the eyes of the law, in the eyes of the Lord, to take care of that kid, man. And it's a cold game when you let your kids suffer because you want to get your ass pumped up. And I don't care, and I don't want to hear none of this cappage about, oh my goodness, these men, what's going on with these men is they want a big fat ass, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Man, let me tell you something. I'll tell you straight up and down, and I don't care what anyone says. I'll take a great personality over a fat ass any fucking day. Let me just break it down, man. Pick your women with your eyes closed, because that woman you picked with your eyes open gonna run your fucking pockets. That's right. Then she gonna run your pockets. Part of being a man is understanding that everything can't be surface deep, and you got a damn job to do. Your woman needs to be really pretty to you, but let me tell you one thing. Let me tell you why when I woke up one day and I knew I was gonna be with my wife. One day I woke up after working 15 hours. I was on call all night. I was working for a medical company. And I woke up in the morning, I had to do something. I woke up to a hot cup of coffee, some tortillas and some chorizo and eggs. She had woke up before me, knew I had to get up, had food ready. I looked at her and I said, damn, I ain't seen this type of old school dedication to somebody since my grandma and grandpa. And I seen my dad in my head said, boy, you gonna mess this up. You a special type of stupid. And I'm not saying that anything's perfect, but I'm gonna tell you 2 things about life right now. Number 1, everybody don't need to know your damn business. Number 2, if you so damn surface deep that the surface will change your life, then you never really had a real life in the first place. And what happens to her happens to her. It is what it is. It is what it is. And you know what? Finding somebody that you respect is very important, because God knows whoever this father is who had babies with this woman, he also failed. Fellas, we got to take some damn responsibility who we stick our pipe into sometimes. Who we stick our pipe into is our fault. If you gonna pipe down a damn harlot who would sacrifice her own children in a hot ass car in the middle of the summer and let one of her babies die and the other one 3 years old in a 107-degree car, what do you think that's happening to that child's brain? Them kids ain't got no damn chance. And in 10 years, you're gonna be paying for them through the penal system or the welfare system. And I don't care what race that person is, that motherfucking person ain't worth shit. And she wasted the one thing that she didn't have enough of time, because she gonna do some of it. You know, when you get in trouble, let me tell you how important time is. When you get in trouble, they take it away from you. They make you serve it in an uncomfortable condition. They make time that's really short in life, because everybody knows 1 year is short, and they stretch that shit out by putting you in isolation. Time is the most important thing in the world. And if you ever learn anything from me, if you just take it from an OG, I saw somebody say I'm an old head, this, that, and that, it's all good. I'll be an old head. I lived through the 80s and the 90s when they was murking mugs. And I'm going to tell you just like this. The most important thing is, do not sacrifice your time. Do not sacrifice your time. All right, let's get back into the content. Let me see who I got in here. Please excuse the rant. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to preach that much. You know, I did grow up Southern Baptist, and sometimes I think I have it in me. You know, my granddaddy was a bishop, and his brother was a preacher, but spent a lot of time in the church. But I don't want to go that far into it. But I just want to say, I see you, Nicole, 3495. I see you, Super Saiyan. Divine Photos again. I see you, and I appreciate all 37 of you. If you could, please give me a like if you have not liked the stream already, and let's get into the next topic. And you'll notice the central theme in this is money over everything.
Hey guys, so today's my third night here in Miami as a midnight ballerina trying to reach my $5,000 goal, right? So tonight, I'm not gonna lie, tonight was weird as fuck. When I say weird, I mean the club was swole. The club was swole. But when I tell you nobody was throwing money, it was the weirdest shit, like...
Winter is here.
Turn a hoe into a housewife. You shouldn't even want to turn a hoe into a housewife. If you want a wife, then you go get you a wife. You want a hoe, then you got to be a pimp.
And I want to stop it right there for a second. I just want to talk to y'all. You know, and the next segment's going to say this, but I want to tell you a story. The funniest thing. Man, when I turned 18, I went to the strip club for the first time that I could go in the United States. I had been to a couple in Tijuana when I was way younger with my cousin. He was a Marine down in, Pendleton in San Diego? Yeah, because Bragg is in North Carolina, and that's Army. So he was down at that camp, and my cousin would be like, come on, let's go with us. Sneak me across the border with him. I was big enough. So anyway, 18 years old, I go to my first strip club. And my stupid ass, they used to have these. This is a whole long time ago, right? I was 18 and back in the days. Clinton was president, okay? And I had a camera. They used to have these instant cameras. I was going to make sure I documented myself over here with the strippers. And man, that camera fell out of my pocket. That stripper got up and pointed. I had a camera, and man, strippers scattered. They scattered stuff all over. Man, that bouncer came and ushered me right out there. You could never document who was stripping because, see, a lot of these girls, they actually did go to college, or they just didn't want nobody to know. They didn't want their dad to know. It would have been a scandal. It would have been bad. But nowadays, man, they on Instagram. They on X. We used to call it Twitter back in the day. And I said, you ain't going to give me a Twitter. That's when you twist my nipples with your pincher fingers. Now, you ain't gonna Twitter me, boy, but we used to see on Twitter, call it X now, Instagram, Facebook. They be like telling you on Facebook where they gonna be. There is no shame. And the logical outcome to this is non-success. Yes, there are a lot of folks who dip in the game, dip out of the game, go on to it. But these are people who can remain anonymous. But in this new social media age with these algorithms, I ain't the only one cover this lady. I seen Anton cover it when I was preparing the stream. She answered back to Anton, talking about, oh, I'm going viral now. Well, first of all, dear, viral ain't 90,000 views. Viral is just he got 1 million people. You know, and these ladies, they actually now rise up and defend. I can do whatever I want. Yeah, ma'am, you can do whatever you want. You are free in this country to do 90% of the shit you want to do. You are never free from the consequences of being a 304. It happens to everyone. I don't care. It happens to fellas. Fellas, you too much of a hoe? Okay, you too much of a hoe, fellas. You got 9 kids, 9 different women. You ain't never getting a tax return again. Your passport is gone. You can't do nothing, and you are a broke dusty. That's what happens when you just stick and move, right? It can happen to anybody. You know, being unresponsible with yourself is the outcome of this. And also the outcome is this. This lady, you know, as men, we categorize people. You didn't categorize yourself as a whole lady. You think you're going to get a dude like, well, let me guess. The dude you want to get, he has to make at least $250,000 a year because you can make $5,000 in a week. So you figure that that's your level because you make a lot of money. So you got to get a dude who makes $250,000 a year. And he has to be a successful business person. He has to look good, maybe 6'1", 6'5", whatever. You know, oh, don't be fat. Don't have a double chin. Make sure you work out. Do this and do that because I take care of myself. And he's supposed to be all of that and be that shining black Superman, white Superman, whatever Superman he's supposed to be for your busted ass that everybody that's seen your cookies for $1.50. They throw $20 and they get a private dance. And we know when the going gets tough, you're going to bust down in the back for $150. What are you talking about? And when it gets cold out there, you ain't going to be able to do nothing because we already told you winter is coming and it's a cold winter.
Hoes used to go to the strip club. You pulled your phone out of hoe, kick that out your hand. You don't put on phone. I don't nobody know I'm in here. Now hoes got Instagrams. Showing you, come see me tonight. I'm working at this club tonight, that club tomorrow. And it's like, by the way, and it's okay with me, but it's like, I remember when you did it like that quiet. I was on the phone for 4 hours to try to get you to send me one of those. I used to work for hours to get a picture in a thong. Now it's there. Word. Ain't nothing to work towards no more. Ain't no more goals on your front page, by the way. Yeah. Come on, bro. Like, women are making it too easy. It's too easy, and men don't understand easy. We just giving y'all the money. Here. Nobody's growing. Nothing's happening, but...
Yeah, so something interesting have been happening since this economy got bad. You know, I told a story last week of a lady. That was years ago. But I've had a few folks get at me. And really a few ladies, my wife don't know this because they get ignored. Like I'll get a blip, I'll get an email. I'll get emails now on my business email. And they'll be like, hey, what's going on? How's that little channel doing? When are you available? Hold on a second. What do you mean, when am I available? I ain't talked to you for a decade. I'm not available. I'm not. I'm busy. I got work to do. I don't have time for you. But people are spinning the block, and this is why. People are spinning the block. They're desperate. Man, I don't think folks understand, and I pray everybody in this chat and everybody who hears this is employed, don't have no problems with their job, and I hope that they are definitely in a situation where they don't have to worry about it. But it's a lot of people out there, especially in the Bay Area, these tech companies laying off left and right, people who thought they were solid 10 years out of company, they're going to let them go. And the way they let them go is cold-blooded, email in the middle of the night. And these people are trying to spin the block whoever they can. But see, you've already put yourself in a category with me. Oh yeah, there's categories. I categorize people instantly. I meet somebody and you're a nice person, you're a nice girl. You know, I can deal with you. I meet somebody and you kind of a bust down. And what a date really is for a man, just for you ladies to know, what a date really is our opportunity to find out if you're worth our time. That's what it is. Because a lot of times you know, there's something going around that I think is hilarious. This dude's talking about they gonna be financially they gonna be financially celibate. Financially celibate. They're like, listen, ladies, you could hold your cookies after, you know, and I guess it's just a reaction because, you know, you have ladies nowadays, they got 3 kids, talking about they celibate until they get married. And this dude's, well, I used to spend a lot of money on dates, but I'm celibate until I'm financially celibate until I get with somebody. And I know she's real. And a lot of ladies, you don't like these little dates, right? These little dates is how we find out who you are. I mean, we have to realize, and ladies, I want you to realize that all of y'all have started, to the most part, there's ladies who dress decently. And when I generalize, I'm not talking about all ladies. I got to say that because, you know, y'all be talking. It's too many of y'all who dress like hoes and we can't tell the difference because we ain't smart enough to look at you and make an instant understanding. I can't see inside your heart, your soul, and your head. It's too many of y'all. You're dressing like hoes? Or you are you with a group of hoes? All of y'all dressing the same, y'all loud, y'all doing crazy stuff. I don't know who you are. So when I go out, I am always worried. And that's why my dates, when I used to date, I used to have 6-hour dates. We used to meet at noon for coffee. And then we used to go, you know, maybe to the Japanese tea gardens, maybe to a museum. I got you out a couple of hours. I'm gonna give you a regular lunch. We ain't sitting down at crustaceans. And at each step of the day, we're going to go to the Exploratorium after that. Each step of the day, I can jettison. Hey, you know what? After lunch, it was cool, but I'm done. You said plan for 6 hours. Nah, yeah, but you didn't make 6 hours. Next thing we do, maybe if you could make it through the whole night and you were under my evaluation of how you acted the whole night and how we had conversations, and if you were really interested in me, because guess what? I work too hard and my time is too precious to have you trying to juice me for a fucking dinner, baby. And yes, when I met my wife, we split a tri-tip sandwich or something like that. First time I met her. I was driving up from LA from a business meeting. I was on my way back to the Bay. I stopped where she was. We met each other, had a tri-tip sandwich. We talked for about an hour and a half. I noticed 3 things that I liked about her. We had another date. I'm sure she noticed some stuff she liked about me. All of this money, leading with money stuff, fellas, you better stop. Especially when money about to get tight, because this economy ain't no joke. I don't care what you think or what you thought. It's going to get tough. You lead with money, you're going to be in trouble. And ladies, if the only thing you're looking for money, let me tell you something. If you're hoeing, just say you're hoeing. But if you think you're going to get some money from me.
Winter is here.
Because it's a cold, hard winter if you think you're getting something from me. I mean, a lot of times these ladies be coming at you with just delusional stuff. Oh, you got to make $150,000. What?
Delusional as fuck.
You look average. I got to make $5,000 and ain't nobody throwing money. That's because you look average, lady. You thought you looked good. And the way you was talking.
Just shut the fuck up.
Nobody wanted to hear you. Nobody wanted to hear you. And fellas, let me tell you a surefire way to go broke. Spending more money than you're supposed to on somebody who don't like you, on somebody who will never build with you. You will be broke as a joke. Broke as hell. Broke and dusty. And let me tell you, all these ladies who claiming they got something, they lying. I had a lady actually talking to me once. I was doing a consultation and she started talking to me about what she likes to go on vacation and what she likes to do on vacation. And I was like, cool. And she started telling me how she only flies business class. Okay, cool. I fly business class. I feel you, girl. You're doing your thing. She started telling me the hours and the schedules that she flew business class and where she went from the States. And I realized that she was lying because she was saying she was in lay flats, and the only 2 airlines have lay flats leaving from the United States, and those are the longest haul from a 737 that they can have. When I say lay flats, I'm talking about 737 lay flats, not 757s. It's just travel talk, but whatever. Those are the smaller planes that you fly like intercontinentally and not the big planes that you fly overseas. She's talking about she go to the DR in a 737 with lay flats. Bitch, you on Spirit Airlines. What you talking about? And that's what I say. Don't believe the hype. People are lying to you. And don't waste your time with people like that. Let's get into the next content. Let me give a shout out to Red Lipstick Vibes. Super Scion. I see you lighting up the chat. Toba, man, all the cool people in the chat. You know what? I ain't gonna lie. I love your vision.
I respect your ambition, Willie, but you got to have vision.
And I want to say greetings to all my polite savages out there. Greetings. Let's get into the content.
Polite savages.
You and this body, girl. I'm sorry, I can't. That waist. You don't like to sit, huh?
Nope. I like to show my body, baby. I paid for it. I can't sit down, baby. I can't sit down. Yeah, okay, look. I want for Dr. Trish because he fine as fuck and I want to fucking, for me, like, I want me a corporate, like, you got to be, like, really cute. You got to.
She wants a corporate man and he has to be really cute. Listen to how she's talking. Do you really think a corporate man? This is the delusion that we have here. These ladies think they're going to get Tupac in a suit. You know damn well the average corporate dude who works 17-hour days. I've done it before as core management for a startup. I was working 17-hour days, 4 days a week. Then I got an 8-hour day. I was as tired as I could ever be. If I came home to her who couldn't sit her goofy ass down, no.
You got to make over $250,000.
$250,000. Where do these women get these numbers from? Do you realize that less than 4% of the United States makes that a year consistently? Do you think that 4% man looking at her with that big ass forehead and them eyes too far apart and them extensions and that snatched waist and a BBL, do you really think that her bobble-headed ass is going to get a man who makes that? Man, Kendra G, they just come up here and say anything to Kendra G. And Kendra G will absolutely love it up. And you know why? Because Kendra G gets paid off of their stupidity. That's one of the things I never did. I never wanted to bring a bunch of dumb women on, especially black women, and just get paid off of their stupidity. You can look back to every live stream that we've ever done. I'll criticize somebody, but I would criticize all types of women. I had Latinas on my live stream, I had Asians, and I had black women. And I didn't want them all to be dumb. A matter of fact, we went out of our way to pick people who were kind of smart, so I could have a real disagreement with them.
You got to be African American or white, and you got to be family oriented.
I'm just going to say that my Latino brothers, if you would like this lady, we will pass. The Asian brothers, please, Scott, talk to whoever you need to talk to, and we would like to get her off the island immediately.
You can't have no kids.
Of course you cannot have kids.
No baby mamas.
You have 2 kids.
What? How the hell you gonna have 2 kids, but they can't have kids? Next thing you know, she gonna say she's saving it till she married. Sometimes I want to give a shout out to Kendra G. Look at her face. Kendra G can hold a poker face under anything. Look at her face. Kendra G is stone faced. Man, if you ever play poker with Kendra G, she's winning because she listens to nothing but cash money bullshit all day. And she just looked normal.
Okay, that's enough.
Do you want to have more kids?
I will have more kids if he make a certain amount.
Her womb is for sale. Her womb is for sale.
How much money does he have to make in order for you to have this baby?
Over $250,000 a year.
You don't have to answer, but I'm gonna ask. When's the last time you was intimate with someone?
Last year.
You haven't had
She lying her black ass off.
sex in a year?
Yeah.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying?
If I didn't come, it wasn't sex. So anyways, no.
And when was the last time you tried to escalate with that person?
Last week, but it don't count.
Did his penis enter your body?
It did, but it should not have.
Nasty.
So look, here's the deal. Ladies, I need you. Listen, I'm going to say all the lady polite savages in the chat are smart enough to know that this is unacceptable. But all of you know a stupid person like this. Please let her know that the game is up and we ain't buying that shit no more. She ain't never been around $250,000 a year. She don't know how $250,000 a year look. I mean, because let me tell you something. I know a bunch of dudes in the Bay Area who are engineers. I know a couple of AI engineers, and they are not cool. Oh, first of all, they are sleep deprived. They got big bags under their eyes. They nerdy as hell. And the only thing they do is work. Their whole life is algorithms and trying to figure out how to take this technology to the next level. So when a lady like this comes and says that she absolutely needs someone to make $250,000, only thing I tell her is that her womb is for sale. And ladies, this is why dudes had started looking elsewhere. How can you blame them? And also, this reputation is getting out. The internet is horrible in certain ways and it's wonderful in other ways. I can have a conversation with you folks in my living room. I feel like I'm talking to a bunch of friends. I'm chopping it up. We have a little fun here or there, you know, we do a little stuff. And sometimes the internet tells you to do something like trust them.
Trust me.
And you shouldn't. You should not trust them. You should not trust the internet, because the internet will tell lies and let you know that make you think that everybody is like this. And I'm going to say, ladies, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt that everybody ain't like that. I don't even think half of you is like that, but I think you're too quiet because women hate going against women in a lot of ways. And let me tell you something. I know you guys say men don't go against men, but I just sat here and gave a dissertation on men wasting their time, sticking their penises in the wrong places, having kids and being broke and dusty for the rest of their life. And let me tell you something, young men out there. All the hoeing around I did when I was young, babe, if you're listening, hide your ears, please. I don't even remember half of them. They ain't even worth my time. There's about 3 people in my life that I remember. None of them hold a candle to my woman. Everybody remember the first person made their heart pitter-patter or whatever. Hell, I was 14 years old. That don't mean nothing. Spending all that time with those ladies, man, it was a waste of time in a lot of ways. And when you get older, you realize that you ain't got enough time to waste. So I'm going to tell you something, fellas. Don't waste your time. And ladies, if you got a friend like this and you think that they might be salvageable, tell them to stop the dumb shit because we are not buying it. Man, this Kid G show is hilarious. It's hilarious. But what happens with a lot of these ladies is they wind up in ways doing things that they just don't understand. And fellas, we wind up in the friend zone. We wind up in the friend zone and we have to stop that also. I'm going to tell you something. I know I'm talking to the fellas a lot here, and I know fellas, they love to see me busting down females' faces. Pause, man, that was crazy. I know you love to see me like showing, shame, blame, and explain. But I got to be honest. Us as fellas, we got a lot of work to do. And one of the things I'm going to tell you is, like I told you, I automatically categorize somebody. If you put me in the friend zone, I put you in the friend zone right back. You can't get no money from me. And I'm not taking you out. I'm not whining and dining you. We could go out as mutual friends. Hey, you pay and I pay. We friends. I have a lot of friends of mine that if they want to take me out and pick my brain about something on YouTube, they want to pick my brain about the business world, the martial arts world, traveling or anything, like how to do business in a different country. They buy me lunch and they give me money for my time and we have a consultation over lunch. That's fine. That's business. But you cannot approach me and try to flip that business to pleasure to get what you want. I don't believe in it. You need more people. Because trust me, I know what's going to happen.
Believe all women.
And we get in a whole lot of trouble with it. We get in a lot of trouble. And I think that somebody who's really did the best for us in explaining that is Patrice O'Neal. So I don't know if any of you folks know who Patrice O'Neal is, but Patrice O'Neal was probably the godfather before the Godfather. Patrice O'Neal, Patrice O'Neal, Tom Likas, they had a whole lot of information through comedy, through being a shock jock about life in general. And whether you like it or not, you got to say Rollo Tomassi, he wrote that book. There's a lot of people who, I'm not like a big giant philosophy guy of any pill or anything like that. I'm aware of them. And I have friends who are really deep in this and really deep in that. I think a lot of it is something you need when you're a younger man. But once you get my age, man, you should know it all the time. But Patrice O'Neal passed away in 2011. And he's still, if you listen to what he's saying, it is still relevant. A lot of times, and people hit me up and I catch flack for this. Why are you so much Corey Holcomb? Because Corey Holcomb is the closest thing to Patrice O'Neal in my book. So let's get into the content and let me know what you think about it.
You! Look at this girl's face like the Stone Indian. Which, that's your girl, bro? Ooh, I like that. I like that. You feel that? You know what he said? He said, look at her and look at me. That was a compliment to you or to her? Oh, I thought it was to you, nigga. I thought you was kind of good looking. Thought that head was kind of like over here. Thought you meant you. So, but we all thought you meant that. So basically, he was saying that she's too pretty. They got that misconstrued because they couldn't believe somebody could be that much of a lying ass liar. See what happens when you lie, dog? It's just whatever. Is she just a friend of yours? So how long you been trying? How long you been trying to have sex with her and friendship your way into it?
That is something that will never work, gentlemen. And let me tell you something. If it does work, this lady will never respect you. I am a great believer in that how you meet them is how they're going to leave you. And if you meet a lady and you had to become her friend, somebody else is her friend, and that friend on the side, you were just a backup plan. So let me explain it to you. You meet a lady and you guys are just friends and she's seeing other people on the side, but she's keeping you around in that orbit because she wants to, just in case it doesn't work out with them, she's going to keep you as a backup plan because women need security. And sometimes the security that they have is multiple men who could pay things. That's why we started off with that Craig Fax rant when he's talking about, hey, just admit that you selling it. Because a lot of times ladies need in situations, and I'm not saying that all ladies, but a lot of times ladies, when they approach you and they put you in that friend zone, they're looking for somebody for a financial backup. Like I told you last week when that lady, we was just friends and all of a sudden she's talking about, I need $1,500 for rent. $1,500 for rent? Oh, shit, you need to find somebody else. Shit, I'm financially celibate. I love that term. But also what's going on is that when your friends don't like that, you think that you're going to get out of it. Even if you get out of it, that's some pity punani, bro, and you don't want it that way.
It ain't gonna happen. She's gonna use you until you're finished. She's gonna tell you all kind of her problems. She's gonna have you go out to dinner with her. Have her Annie up, man. Have her Annie up, man. Give it up. How long you been knowing him not having a good time? How long you been knowing this guy? Because I don't like her. I don't even know I don't like her already. She's just sitting there.
Ladies, if a man says he's financially celibate, how would you take that? Because to me, off rip, it sounds funny, but the more you think about it, the more it makes sense. Because
this, like, when I put this together today, this is the first time I heard of this. You know, usually I have some external editors and they'll throw together something for me when I'm reacting to it. But I had to put together half of it today because just the time change and everything that was going on. I never heard of. Has anybody else ever heard of financially celibate? That is my newest favorite term. If you ever heard of financially celibate, give me a 1 in the chat. Give me a 1 in the chat because I ain't never heard of it before.
Because we all know in the dating world, a woman bases her worth for a man on how much he may really like her based off of sexual attraction. And a woman might go out with a guy and be like, you know what? I wonder if this guy really likes me, or does he just want to sleep with me? So she's not going to sleep with him at first so she could try to gauge whether or not he really likes her or not. A man, his value is based off of his financial situation. So he could be like, you know what? Does this woman really like me? Is she jacking, or does she only like me for my money? Or is she only trying to go out on dates because she knows she's going to get a free dinner or drinks or whatever?
I remember a couple of years ago, they were talking about foodie calls. And I was like, a foodie call? What's a foodie call? Or a foodie dates? And a lot of ladies were proud saying that like maybe 5 times a month or 10 times a month, or some even said 20 times a month. They're literally going out with dates with people for food. Now, I want you to juxtapose that. This was years ago when the economy was actually doing well. I'm talking about post-COVID. Everybody was outside. They were doing pretty good. They had that, you know, the PPP money that they were scamming and all this stuff, and they was doing their thing. And guess what? What happens now? What do you think they're doing when they ain't got all the money? What do you think that these ladies, when they calling you? Fellas, if you single and you getting calls from ladies you ain't got calls from before, and they're all of a sudden interested in you, ask them what industry was they working in. Were they working in tech? Were they working for UPS? Did they just get laid off? Did they just get laid off and they're looking for some shelter? Because trust me, you have to know that things just don't change like that. Look, and you got to know who you are. You just wasn't on this woman's mind all this time and she just broke down and called you. They're going to try to use you. And ladies, as just much as you are worried about a man using you for your body, we do not want to be used for our wallet. Because in order for us 9 times out of 10 to make that money, we absolutely have to put our body to the test. If you go, let me tell you something. Most men who make 6 figures work in a trade. If you're not in the Bay Area, you're not in one of the big cities. You know, now I know most people who watch us, they watch from Houston, they watch from New York, they watch from Georgia. We got a few in the Bay Area. Give a love to everybody who watches. And a matter of fact, if you're listening to me right now, since we're talking about that, pop down in the chat where you're from so I can give your city a shout out. I want to know where people watching me from, because it's crazy, because we all over the world, baby. I want to know. Sometimes people pop in from Africa, pop in from Asia, but you go on and tell me in the chat where you're from while I'm talking, because I want to know. I'm so curious. But we are worried because we have to put our bodies on the line. My dad was a carpenter. My dad had his shoulder broke on a job. Well, actually, my dad had 3 careers that I was aware of. So first, my dad was in the military. Then my dad was a carpenter, but he was also a meat cutter at times when he was being a carpenter. He was a meat cutter too. And so he worked 2 jobs at one time to really make sure we were taken care of. The reason why he was making sure that we were being taken care of was because he actually sent me to a private school for a long time. And this is one of the foundations of my education. He was able to keep me in martial arts and stuff like that. Man, my dad was a hell of a dude. He went to it. And he went through it for us. But I remember my dad broke his shoulder and he was at home and, you know, he was hurt. And I was thinking like, damn, you could have died because something fell off of a building and hit him on the shoulder. If it was over, it would have hit him in the head. It would have killed him, even though he had a hard hat on. And I was thinking, damn, you could have died. So, ladies, when you're talking about using a man for money, just realize that what he had to do to get it.
But it's not going to go anywhere past that. So until I can figure that out, I'm financially celibate. But imagine that.
Yeah. Oh, man. I see some people from all over the world in here. I got somebody from, in the ATL, in the East Point. Let me run it down here. Let me run it down here. Man, Phoenix, Arizona, SoCal, the UK.
I have come here to kick ass.
Man, I'm going to tell you something. When I was living in France, we would go to the UK to do gigs. And actually, we go to the UK because sometimes French food is just too much for me. And English food isn't that great, in my opinion. But you get some proper fish and chips if you like vinegar. I did not understand because people from England talk so cool with that little accent. Man, y'all ruffians over there on the south side of London, boy. Woo. But I enjoyed myself there. I've been all over the world. I got a man from Florida, Cali. Hey, Cali. There we go. Somebody from East Point, man. Man, my homeboy from Ben Hill over there in Atlanta. Actually, a good friend of mine. Actually, he lives in Thailand now. West Los Angeles. At the bottom here in LA, but shout out to the Bay. Hey, Sean G, Saudi Slim, South Africa. Yes, sir. Man, let me tell you something about Saudi Slim. Now that I got you on the live, I'm going to give you something. Let me tell you about Saudi Salim 8957. Dude has been rocking with us from the beginning. And I remember once I was talking about the Essence Festival, and I was like, I don't understand why Nigerians were acting like that towards us. And I had some stories about Nigerians. And like I say, I usually get along with everybody. I approach you eye to eye. When you turn your back on me, I let it go. I'm not a bootlicker. I don't ever give anybody one up on me. I'm a grown-ass man. And Saudi Slim was like, man, that happened down here too with them. But I just want to say I don't have nothing against nobody. Like Corey said, I'm gonna treat you fair. I just appreciate folks. So I got my man from Saudi, from H-Town, from Brooklyn. I got a story about Brooklyn. Man, I tried to live in Brooklyn in 98 for 6 months. New York is fast, bro. I felt so slow. I felt like I was just a country bumpkin. You know, my family from Texas. I grew up in the Bay. I'm like, man, I'm a country bumpkin. Where was that? Fort Greene. I think I know the Ghostbusters house was right down the street. This is a long time ago, but man, New York is dope in a lot of ways because you get every type of food you want, every type of person's there. The culture's really there. I love hip hop. So I'll give a shout out to H-Town, Brooklyn, H-Town, Super Saiyan. Hey, let me let you know something. Rumor is that I'm relocating back home to the Houston area. So, you know, I mean, when we have our meetup down there, you come on through. Rock Island, Illinois, man, a lot of people is here. So I want to give y'all something before we go too far. Let me see, what do I got here? I got Winter, I got Trust Me. How about some dancing in Afro Latinas? Yeah. Who else do we got? I see you running, Super Saiyan. All right, one love. Mr. X from San Diego, Cali Music from Cleveland Ave. And yes, I definitely do miss Patrice O'Neill. Yes, I will say this, DJ Green, Great Dane, the Essence Festival was trash. And the most horrible part about the Essence Festival being trash was that was really something that people were looking forward to. My mom used to go to the Essence Festival, right? And I went a couple of times. I mean, I'm old school. Hey, I'm one of the people who used to go to the Freaknik. Holla. I was a young man then. Please don't hold it against me. But Essence Festival was something that we look forward to every year. We had great music. It was a great time. It was a chance to go to New Orleans. It was a chance to get out and see my family in Louisiana. And, you know, for that, going the way it went really didn't sit right. I want to give a shout out to all the folks who are here. Let me give you a little something before I get back to the end of the content. Yeah, I hope you guys appreciate and love the little gimmicks. But I just want to, we got a little more to do. I got a little story to tell you. But I know you've seen the thumbnail and the grand finale. So I want you to understand something, how we were building this. When you invest your time the wrong way, right? When the only thing you're saying, ladies, is that he has to have this much money. Even if you're unable to get it, has to have this much money. If you put yourself in a situation where you only dating somebody and you're wasting your time with these high expectations. When it all comes down to it and you get used to a little money, maybe you did something a little strange for change, whatever you did, at the end of your life, you are in situations where you got to do whatever you got to do. Now, Stacey Dash is 54 years old, starting to OnlyFans. 54 years old, starting to OnlyFans. I mean, Jesus.
Delusional as fuck.
Now, listen. Contrary to popular belief. Hold on. Stop the show. I'm going to get right back to it. But Mr. X, I got a Miles Davis story. You see, I grew up playing jazz. I played jazz for a decade. I toured the world. That's really got me out there. I started, I always loved hip hop, but jazz was something that I really felt. And Miles Davis is the greatest technician as far as playing the right notes when everyone else is screwing up and making them sound good that I've ever heard. And you to see Miles Davis, I guess I got to tell my one Miles Davis story. You see, the person who was like my big brother, he was in the band. And I started playing in a funk band with him while I was playing jazz. And I was playing trombone. I sung some backgrounds. And I got to give a great shout out to these people because I traveled through Africa and I traveled to Europe with them. So one day he's in DC and he's like, hey, we're going to go see Miles. Do you want to go? And I'm like, he wasn't a big jazz guy. He was a funk and go-go dude. He's from DC. So like Chucky Booker, Parliament Funkadelic, Gap Band, Daz Band, Ohio Players. That's who he was rocking with. I'm like, Miles Davis, yeah, we going to go. So I walk up and I'm looking at Miles because he knows Miles Davis. He knows Miles. And his wife actually did some work for him before, so they have a connection. So I'm talking to him. I'm a little youngster. And I heard Miles Davis saying he wasn't really talking to me. He wasn't fucking with people like that. Miles Davis was Miles Davis. And somebody said to him, he said, and Miles Davis said, it's because I'm a pretty motherfucker. Now, everybody, I want you to look up Miles Davis and how he looks. And I was like, the confidence of this man is crazy. So, man, Mr. X, thank you so much for reminding me of that, man. Because I was a youngster, man. I was knee-high to a totem pole, boy. And that bring a big smile to my face because, our greats are gone. Miles is gone. Dizzy Gillespie is gone. John Coltrane is gone. Oh, shit. Hold on a second. She's 58 with an OnlyFans? Damn. She almost 60 years old. So everybody listening to me, give me a 1. Give me a 1 if you think that 58 is too old for OnlyFans. Give me a 2 if you think it ain't never too late to make a comeback. Because my opinion is crazy. If you have OnlyHams at 58 and you just starting it, bad things have happened in your life. You have wasted time and effort. Do you realize that Stacey Dash was it? She one of the prettiest ladies in Hollywood. She was in some of the biggest movies in the 90s. She was in Clueless. She's related to Dame Dash. Even when her second career was a Fox contributor, and it all got blown away because of substances and wasting her time. Ah, yeah, D'Angelo's going too. Man, I got to. All right, my next stream next week. I'm going to do a Legends of Music stream, and maybe I'm the only one who like it. But we're going to vibe out. It's going to get demonetized too because I'm going to play a lot of songs. so just to let you know, it's going to be on Members. So let's get into this content. But before, let me hit you with a quick interlude. I'm going to refresh my tea. Trust me, the interlude is worth it. I ain't going to give you nothing bunk. And give me 1 second to get back.
Check this ish, yo. I grew up on the crime side in New York Times side. Staying alive was no job. Had second hands, mom's bounce on old man. So then we moved to Shaolin Land. A young youth, yo, rocking the go-to flow goose. Only way I begin to G off was high-loot. And let's start it like this, son. Rolling with this one and that one. Pulling out gas for fun. But it was just a dream for the teen who was a fiend. Started smoking woolies at 16. And running up in gates and doing hits for high stakes. Making my way on fire escapes. No question I would speed for cracks and weeds. The combination made my eyes bleed. No question I would flow off and try to get the dough off. Sticking up white boys in ball courts. My life got no better. Same damn low sweater. Times is rough and tough like leather. Figured out I went the wrong route. So I got with a sick ass click and went all out. Catching keys from cross seas. Rolling in MPVs. Every week we made 40 G's. Yo brother, respect mine. Or here go the Tech 9. Move from the gate now. Cash rules everything around me. Bring in the money. Dollar, dollar bill, y'all. Dollar bill, y'all. Cash rules everything around me. Bring in the money. Dollar, dollar bill, y'all. Dollar bill, y'all. It's been 22 long, hard years. I'm still struggling. Survival got me bugging, but I'm alive on arrival. I peep at the shape of the streets and stay awake to the ways of the.
Yes. Back in the scene, crispy and clean. You know, the funny thing is that on our streams originally, I used to drink a half a bottle of whiskey, and now I'm drinking a bunch of tea. I guess age does make you a little wiser. But as I promised, we are going to get directly into a little more content for you.
Polite savages.
You and this body, girl. I'm sorry, I can't.
But, you know, she's 58 years old, and she's at a point in her life where she is following the path that others are, and that's trying to go viral on social media. Now, people are talking about this viral video of her dancing, right? And people thought that something was seriously wrong with her.
Congratulations, Stacey Dash. I think we all know Stacey Dash. A lot of movies, always beautiful. Even now, I mean, she's in her 50s and she looks great.
And I do admit Stacey Dash does look good for somebody in her 50s. I'm not going to say that she does not look good. I'm not going to say that. And I want to give a shout out to Jada Black, man. He has a great channel, and I've been a fan of his for years. I'm also a fan of Godfrey. I love them Chicago comedians. But Stacey Dash, I mean, you got to admit, she looks good for her age. But in this picture here, I don't know.
Skin looks clear. Eyes look clear. But something about her looks really off.
Took some time off to rest, and now it's game time. You have no idea.
Only she was just like on
I mean, Stacey Dash is almost 60. She's dancing like real weird, all on TikTok all the time. And she's had like a drug problem, liquor.
Shout out to O'Shea, but I mean, that is true. Like, this is one of the things that we have to say. Ladies and men, you know, I got nephews. I helped raise them. You know, they ask me for advice. They great kids, man. If I'm dressed like my nephew, if I'm acting like my nephew who's over 12, 15, 20 years younger than me, there is something wrong with me. Stacey Dash out here doing TikTok dances trying to thirst trap. Baby doll, it's over. You are not, you trying to thirst trap for young people. You need to be thirst trapping for a 65-year-old man. Stacey Dash's dude at 58 is 65 years old. He got about 2 years of feminine stem left, and he gonna bust it down, but it's only gonna be for about 7 or 8 minutes. And if he got the blue pill or that Cialis, he gonna give her a good 30 minutes, but he might die. What she needs to do is realize is that she over here trying to be young and appeal to young folks. Baby doll, you messed up your youth with the drugs. You messed up the youth wasting your time. You can't bring it back and you can't turn back the clock. It's a damn shame when somebody as good looking as this woman was, as talented as this woman was, wasted her time. And now she's trying to bring it back. Central theme, you cannot bring back your time.
Problem, like alcohol problems, and culminating in all of this, not adding any value to anybody, results in people just not wanting to deal with you.
Can you imagine if your 58, 55, whatever year old auntie, grandma is up here on the internet with her hands against the wall, shaking her flabby ass waffles? Nobody want to see that. Man, listen. If she wanted so much attention and thirst trap, she need to go to the old folks home and walk her cute old ass up around older men. Men are attracted to beauty. She's beautiful, but not for a 58-year-old woman acting this way. It's just ridiculous.
Hey, I don't know. You tell me. Something doesn't look right, because she said she's trying to keep from what?
I just don't want to kill anyone.
Something about Stacey has a glaze of crazy. Look at it very closely. You know, something is not right.
If you go to her page, just something new looks like she's trying to do, because she's on TikTok like everybody else.
Man, that still shot is crazy though. She looked like listen, Stacey Dash right there looked like she on her way to get some crack. She looked like she's on her way, and she got caught. She was walking and somebody said, "Want some crack?" And she said, "Yeah." And they took a picture of her. "Want some crack?" Look at her. She looked crazy. Look at that look at her face.
And she's trying to go viral, and she's doing whatever she sees on TikTok, right? You can just tell the influence of TikTok on these people, right? You know what I'm saying? She's trying to show y'all that she got it, or still got it, right? If that's your thing.
Winter is here.
And the bottom line is this. If you spend your life doing the wrong thing, this is a cautionary tale. I mean, you could say anything, but it comes down to your choice. Listen, Stacey Dash had advantages. And if she had demons, she had demons, but she had opportunity to get help and to take care of those demons. And I'm going to tell you folks something, man, and with respect. A lot of times your demons, your significant other can actually help you. I'm going to admit something to y'all. I used to come on this live stream, and Uncle Guns knows this. Uncle Guns in the house. Uncle Guns, how you doing, my brother? I haven't said hi to you, but I respect and have reverence for Uncle Guns. And one night we're going to have late night with Uncle Guns, and he's going to tell some of his military stories. And I just heard a couple of them, and I thought I knew some stuff. But, man, I used to sit up there. I used to drink a bottle of liquor. And I had, I have a wife. I have a woman. And let me tell you, fellas, how femininity can cover masculinity, and the opposite happens. With my, with my wife, if anybody ever says anything to her, she knows they have to deal with me. They also knows that they can't talk crazy to her. Nobody disrespects her. Nobody in my family is going to disrespect her. I don't disrespect her. We've had whatever couples go through, it ain't no disrespect. And I'm going to say this, my wife was like, listen, You're drinking too much and I don't like it. It hurts me. And I thought about it and I said, well, I don't love drinking more than I love her. And so I monitored it a little better. But that's what an important of a mate is. At some point, Stacey Dash needed somebody in her life that she loved enough, that she understood enough, that they could actually pull her back and get her some help. Sometimes you need to go into an institution. Sometimes you need help. But obviously, this woman needs help. And then what happens when you waste your time doing the wrong things and you get out of control? You wind up opening up an OnlyFans in your late 50s. I'm not saying that's the only outcome, but damn, I sure am seeing a lot of old bust-down booty clappers with OnlyFans. And the reason why I started off with that lady talking about she trying to make $5,000 and he wasn't throwing money, because that's where it starts. Trying to make $5,000 in a few days is the easy way out. And all of the work she thinks that it's taken her to do it, it's a lie. You know, she's not creating nothing. She's just making money off of her body, and that's cool because it's your body and your choice. But you got to live with the consequences. What I'm trying to tell you is that the consequences can actually be what's going on with Stacey Dash. You know, Gayle King, 70 years old, talking about I'm still holding out to find love. You 70 years old. You need to hold out to find someone to die with. You talking about you going to meet the right man. You are. In about 5 years, it's going to be Jesus. I hope you live to be 100, maybe in 30 years. You wait until 70? What, Oprah got rid of you? And ladies, I know there's a lot of tension between us, but it's been three things that's really kind of pushed black men away from black women. And I love black women, my family, black women. I'm married to a Latina. Everybody knows that about me. But we don't talk bad about people like that. I never disparage somebody to my wife or race. Crazy people in every race. Well, you see, we started off with a Latina doing something crazy. But let me tell you this, and I'll be honest with you folks. If you go through your life wasting time, the outcomes are always shitty, whether you're a man or a woman, because you don't have enough of it. My dad was my superhero. At 50 years old, my dad was still dunking basketballs. By 60 years old, my dad was a sick man. My dad was gone by the time he's 70. That feels like overnight. I look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, what happened to me? I ain't young anymore. It is what it is. So I'm going to tell you guys just like this. If you wait till it's too late to make the proper changes in your life, then it's going to be too late. And the word late means you ain't getting a redo. You don't get redos in life. I appreciate you all, man. I'm going to go through some of these comments. I'll answer any question you have. And I just want to let you know that we're going to keep doing these late night at the tips. I'm going to add more and more bells and whistles. I'm going to work more and more magic through the streaming software. And I'm hoping that you are enjoying the stream. All 116 of you in here, you could have been anywhere, but you chose to be here. Let's go through some of these comments. Joe the Real said 200 nightstand adjusted for wholeflation. I'm sorry, man. I mean, I don't know about paying, but I definitely wouldn't be paying no old woman $200. Damn, 200. You talking about Stacey Dash? Stacey Dash selling her goods for shit. You can see her coochie for $5.99. She got her OnlyHams. Sorry. Stephen Strong said that skin's still looking good. Into Deep said that's sugar booger sugar. Yes, Oscar Proud. I'm in the live. Yes, you are. Oscar, is this your first live? Is this your first live? Hey, I appreciate you for coming through. Want some crack is wild. But that's how she looked, man. She looked like she wanted some crack. And yes, I do remember she got arrested for stalking or something weird. Yes, I do remember that. And you know, I do know from being in music, the casting couch is something real. I do know that, you know, people are preyed upon, but I also know this. and people hate it when I bring this up. Uma Thurman said that she did a lot of jobs with Weinstein, and he did a lot. He did a lot of, a lot of harassment with her and, forcing his way upon her. And I was like, but you was in like 10 movies from dude. I'm sorry, but how much money is enough money? I mean, if you think that I believe that every time that you was around that man or you was with this man, when you did 10 movies with him for that many years, that you did not or was not voluntary.
Just shut the fuck up!
There is absolutely no way I believe that. Sorry.
Delusional as fuck.
And that's what you are if you think so. That's what you are. Damn. So Stacey Dash just beating up people the whole time. So look, folks, I'm going to tell you this. Make sure you spend time with the right people and make sure that your time is important. I'm going to leave you with this one last story. There was somebody who I was associated with. And this person sent me a video clip that says, I really like this person. He's a critical thinker. And it's the cat who's going around who's talking crazy about black people. And this person is Black American, right? And he says, no, we don't have a culture. And I said, okay, if that's what you believe. I said, but this dude doesn't even recognize that the Civil Rights Bill is the reason why he was able to immigrate to the United States and actually have this life. I mean, he could have came here as a student. It was very limited before the 1965 Civil Rights Bill that actually reversed totally the Chinese Exclusion Act, which excluded your ass too. And dude said he didn't know about it. And the excuse and the cope that homeboy on the other line was that like, well, he's from Ghana. He doesn't know American history. I said, well, how can someone be a critical thinker if the subject he's talking about, he hasn't explored it? That's why you don't see me talking about geopolitics, because I haven't explored it for years. I talk about things I know here. I'm pretty good at domestic politics. I'm pretty good at domestic laws and stuff like that. And then he went a little further, and I said, well, listen, man. And I'm not even, I was friendly with this guy. And his tone got disrespectful. And I said, when I went to Africa, I never mentioned nothing about this. He's like, oh, I was in Africa when you were in grade school. Dude's only a few years older than me. And so what I did is I told him, we simply don't need to fuck with each other. You see, I don't ever need to be around somebody and waste my time with them if they're not somebody who I want to waste my time with, because they're not making more time. I appreciate this person to go live their life and leave me alone. And that's what we have to do with a lot of folks out there. A lot of folks, like I go back and forth to the comments because it's fun and it's entertainment. And it's kind of like my job to talk crap. A lot of folks out there though, in real life, they a waste of time. I'm sorry, I'm not a leader. I'm not just going to like wake up everybody who's asleep. I can present the information to you. But that's all I got for that subject, you polite savages. Oscar, I have not seen a lot of your comments. Oscar Proud, but I'll look for them, But I haven't seen a lot of your comments on there. One last thing, I got a special offer for everybody who's in the chat, everybody who watches my lives, that, I have a content creator school. And it's a school. It's not like a get together or a hang. It's like I have a curriculum of how to build content. If you've ever thought of wanting to do this, if you ever thought of how to put together a video, how to pick a niche, how to do everything, myself and Scotty, we run a school. I helm the school, especially right now. I think for the first half of the year, I'll probably helm the school mostly. But I'll tell you this, I started a Patreon. And for the first 50 people from my chat, and I'm only announcing it here, it's going to be half price of $50. And for $50 a month, you get a class every Sunday and a class every Wednesday. The Wednesday class is more of a video review and a video review / AMA, depending on what we have. Ask me anything for difficult questions like what's better, Meld.io or StreamYard, and what's the differences between them. If you want to be a content creator. And I'm not telling you, look, listen, I make a living doing this. I make a pretty good living, comfortable living. You know, I don't want my wife to work, but you know, we're there, but she's still working. I'm not going to say I'm not rich, but I will say this, and I'll tell you this like this. You need an extra source of income because it's about to get scary out there. I know nobody believes me.
Remember the 1st of November. Winter is here.
I know nobody believes me. I will live through 2007. I've seen the same signs. I know exactly what's going on. We're up. We're kind of shaky. It's going to be down. So I'll tell you like this. Anybody who's interested, hit the Patreon at THPPP Network. There's a membership for $50. Sign up for it. Email me at Grover, Grover, at THPPnetwork.com. And I will give you a free half an hour get started consultation. We'll have to schedule it. I work a lot though, so you'll get in there pretty quickly. So you sign up, 1 month, half an hour consultation. So really see if you want to do this. Hey, if you don't want to do it, I understand. Some people do, some people don't. If you have a channel already and your channel's not getting the views you think you should, maybe I can help. I don't make promises, but that's all I got for you. Thank you so much. I want to thank everybody in the chat, all you folks in here. I appreciate you so much. It's so humbling because, like, you know, to have 100 people listen to you talk, and I just hope that I gave you value. Our next stream should be Sunday night. I don't know if we're going to do the music review. If we're not going to do the music review, maybe we'll do something else. Depends on what comes up, but I'll have a good show for you. And as always, I just want you to ask yourself one burning question. Can you handle the tip? Pause. THPP Network. I love you all. Gail at night. Oh, well, hold on. Gail just popped in. Gail is special. #1 mod in the manosphere, modding for all types of people. I think I met her. I think I seen Gail first in Kevin Samuel's chat. I'm not sure. I don't even know where I met you at, Gail, but Gail is always just a smooth operator, a nice lady, and I respect her a lot. So let me give Gail a little something on the way out because I respect her. Yeah. Hey, Gail, that one was for you. I see people in the chat. Maybe you're interested. Go on and hit me up. Send me that email. Hit up the Patreon. Trust me. You don't have to spend a lot to learn how to do it. The sooner you start, the biggest thing is just to start your videos. And yeah, Gail, I probably met you on the Lead Attorney's channel. That makes a lot of sense. Lead Attorney was one of the first people I went up and talked to. I was a panelist on the old Duke and Don show. I don't know where Duke's been. I think Duke retired from content, but I respect the guy a lot. He's a good brother, man. I don't care what he says. I think he got a lot of Duke used to get a lot of conflict, and I don't spend a lot of my time beefing with people on YouTube because it's not productive, especially at my age. But I just want to say to everybody in the chat, I appreciate you so much. Let me give a couple of shouts out before I get out of here. Once again, like I said, if you are interested in learning how to do content, hit me up. I'm gonna go on a tour of some of my friends' chats to see if we can get it going. But I have a real curriculum, and I'm literally almost done with the first quarter of curriculum, the first 3 months. And we're gonna build everything from teaching you how to do a thumbnail, teaching you the biggest thing. And let me tell you something: do not be scared of AI. Be an adapter of AI so AI cannot destroy you. You're going to have to get into it. I actually use AI a lot. I don't use AI for my voice. I know a lot of people think I do. I don't use AI for the craft of videos. I use AI to spice up the videos, but the editing I do myself. But I'm just telling you folks, there's so many people worried about AI. But I just want to give some shouts out to Kimberly. Who's that? What's that? Kimberly Nazar Kimberly Narazi 9831. Respect. Toba 3024. My man Saudi Slim. Saudi Salim. Iliam Lofton, Mr. KB2, respect, Galaxy Douglas, respect always, a splash. I need a 3 or 4 right now. Kalani Music. Yes, I did do music. Maybe we have. I did music in the early and mid 90s. I played music. I also produced some songs around here in the Bay Area, and I was on a couple of soundtracks as a a couple of soundtracks I was an employee for hire, which if you do music, you know that means that I got jacked. And a couple of soundtracks I got some points in publishing from, just to let you folks know, yeah, I did music. But just to say, Oscar Proud, good night. Patrick, AI, Skynet, yeah, it's scary. Steven Strong, stay peace to everyone. Hey, I want to tell everybody I respect you. Thank you so much for coming with us. And as always, ask yourself, can you handle the tips? Salute. Good night and one love.
Struggling, survival got me bugging, but I'm alive on arrival. I peep at the shape of the streets and stay awake to the ways of the world, cause this shit's deep. A man with a dream, with plans to make cream, which failed. I went to jail at the age of 15. A young buck selling shugs and such, who never had much, trying to get a clutch at what I could not. The court played me short, now I face incarceration. Patient, going up states, my destination, handcuffed in the back of a